Vanessa's dream is, to get out of the barrio. She's got these big aspirations.
I feel like I've always dreamed very big because I was lucky to have a mom that empowered me to dream big.
This is the moment when you do better than me, because you can see a future that I can't.
Sonny, you're late. You know you love me?
Hey, this is Mike T from mitú. Today we're chatting with the cast of In the Heights. Guys, I'm gonna start by saying I love this movie. I love that it not only tells Latino stories, but a variety of Latino stories. And Leslie, I wanna talk about Nina's story of kind of feeling like she's betrayed the barrio by going to this Ivy League school and this imposter syndrome. What was that like for you?
Oh man, it was so validating of my own experience of a lot of things that I've experienced in my personal life. And I think that's why Nina's such a beloved character, even from the stage iteration, because she expresses Kiara and Lin both in song and through the script. They did such a great job at putting into words, and beautiful words, the experience of a first generation, second generation, whatever generation you are, actually kid of immigrants that feels displaced and feels fragmented and feels not enough of anything to fully claim with pride who they are. I have felt that deeply. I get still emotional like talking about it. And so I hope that others that have felt that, no matter where you're from, can feel reflected in the story of Nina. You can feel empowered in that there is opportunity there, and there's opportunity for you to tell the specificity of your story and your experience to empower somebody else.
I want to talk about your role as Benny. You're playing Usnavi's best friend. It's a role that was originated by Lin Manuel Miranda's best friend, Chris Jackson. How did it feel like filling those shoes?
This musical on Broadway years ago when I was in school in New York. It was the first musical I'd ever seen on Broadway. So it kind of set the bar. I got to see Lynn, I got to see Olga up there, the entire incredible cast, and of course, Christopher Jackson, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend. I've always been a fan of his. I've always looked up to him. I think the last time I saw him was maybe at the Tonys, but just incredible close-knit theater community. And it was an honor to bring Benny to life on screen for the world, for the masses. I'm literally just adding to his legacy, adding to what he brought to the role on Broadway. And Anthony is that's my boy. I've known him for years too. So to be able to work with him in that way is dope.
Melissa, Vanessa's dream is, to get out of the barrio. She's got these big aspirations. I feel like in the Latino community, that's a lot of times we're told to just kind of work hard, keep our head down. But that's not enough for Vanessa. Vanessa wants more. Is that something you can relate to, being this iconic actress that's getting these amazing roles? Is that something that you can relate to as far as those big aspirations?
I mean, yeah, I feel like I've always dreamed very big because I was lucky to have a mom that empowered me to dream big, and that always taught me that I was the only person that could place limits on my capabilities. And I also left Mexico to look for opportunities of becoming an actor. She feels like her neighborhood is too small for the potential of who she can be. So many people are just told to settle, to just settle and be content. If you can have the same quality of life that you grew up with, then you should be good. It's hard for us to dare to dream bigger because our stories have been erased from mainstream media. And I really do think that affects a lot of the possibilities that we see for ourselves, that our community sees for ourselves. I hope that this movie changes that.
Jimmy, you've got this huge legacy of a career, and being a young Latino that always wanted to get into media and film, you were honestly an inspiration. But now we have In the Heights. We have this big Latino movie. What it's like to see these young actors, so many of them getting this chance that you really had to fight for your roles coming up.
And they're going to still have to be fighting for roles as well. But the difference, Michael, I think, is that we're in a place that we have people like Lin Manuel Miranda, like Kiara Alegría Hudes, who will be able to tell stories that are authentic. We have directors like John Chu, who understands representation on all levels and can be specific and be, Olga, universal at the same time. I'm not going to say that they have a leg up, but this is something that has to, definitely continue. And I just, we feel really positive because we're proud of the work that we have on film, that Olga has worked off Broadway on this, and, continues to have it preserved on screen. So we just hope that the universe is ready for us breaking down the doors.
Olga, very few people I think know In the Heights you are reprising the role of Abuela Claudia in the film. So I want to ask, it's been said that a barrier to having a big breakout Latino movie like this is a lot of people will say, well, that's a Puerto Rican story, I don't want to listen to that. Or that's a Mexican story, that's not my story, that's a Cuban story. But In the Heights is very different, having seen the film. It really feels, like you said, not only universal to all, but universally Latino. What do you think makes it so appealing to all Latino cultures?
That's a great question, Michael. Yes, you're right. This is not just one ethnicity or one country. It really is, you see all those flags in Carnaval del Barrio, you see all those flags. It represents all of our countries, all of our dreams. It's the immigrant story, no matter where you come from. I think this movie is going to be the breakthrough movie because of these universal themes. These characters are very real. Everybody has an abuela or a tia, or a mother or a father like Kevin, Nina's character that goes to university, Usnavi's character. I think it's going to resonate with everyone, and I think it's going to cross over finally.
What kind of hope does that give you for the future, being a Latinx actor and seeing that this is our big moment? What kind of hope does that give you for future roles and the future of Latinx representation?
That's an amazing question. Really just, I think I know In the Heights is gonna be this just huge marching forward front runner. And like our co-star Corey Hawkins said, we're not really just creaking the door open. We're really just busting it open and just in your face, which is amazing. And that's the way we really have to come in. The timing is so perfect, that the fact that you can't see the film in theaters, and that the film itself focuses so much on representation, and the representation is in such a positive sense that we have never truly seen before. In the future, and continuing to see more of those diverse stories, whether they're Latinx or not, just diversity as a whole in Hollywood, and continuing to see that is really great.
In the Heights it's everything is bigger, everything is louder, incredible musical experience. What was it like, with the dancing and with the singing? What was it like keeping up?
It was definitely, keeping up. It took some work. I remember, well, first of all, we had film and theater, completely different mediums, but we had this 2-month, almost a little over, maybe 2 months of rehearsal before. And that whole period was just, it was crazy because we were literally trying things and things that would never make it into the film. And John told us this. He was like, look, we're going to be rehearsing whole numbers and whole choreography that will probably not be in the movie. You know what I mean? And he's not talking about numbers that are in it that they just cut, but just different forms of what the club scene would look like. And we would rehearse. We had so many different ideas so that on the day we could just play. On the day we could sing live. We were in the studio, we were out of the studio. And after that 2 months, we even kept going. We would sometimes shoot in the morning and go rehearse at night, or rehearse in the morning and night, or in the middle of the day, we rehearse on set for something completely different while we were in a different scene. So it was always evolving and challenging, the technical aspects of it, but we just had to rise to the occasion for the community.
Speaking of the community, you've been kind of referenced on set as an honorary Latino. I want to talk to you about what it means to kind of have that cross-cultural support, the Black community, Latino community, helping each other rise up. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's huge words. Kiara said it one time. I was like, okay, I receive it, but I can't put anything on that. I can't add it or lend to that. But I will say that for me, it was important, just as it's important to Benny to contribute to this community. I remember how huge the Latino community, Latinx community came together when I was working on Straight Outta Compton, and helped lift that movie to, incredible proportions. I mean, even in Spain, like Latin America, everywhere. Like it was just, it was overseas, here. It was incredible, the amount of support, and we needed that support because when one of us wins, we all win. And I firmly believe that, and I hope that and know that all of our struggles are the same, all of our dreams are the same, all of those differences. And even if you're not a person of color, if you're in the minority, you still identify with these characters because at the end of the day, we're all human. And this movie really narrows in on that. So it was just a blessing to be able to be a part of that and to live what Benny sort of lives in this story, man. And I will continue to do so in my work. I'll let my work speak for me rather than sort of being a talking head about it. And I think this movie is that little slice of life. It's not the entire, diaspora of Latin culture, but it is just these people, this particular group of people. This is their life on a day-to-day basis, and now we get to open the door for more.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for interviewing with us. Everyone, go see In the Heights. It's incredible. It'll change your life. I promise. Thank you for everything you guys have done for the culture and all your work. Just thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
You too, Michael. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Blessings to you, Michael. Thank you, brother.